What's up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast. I'm Jeff James. This is episode number 47. As always, with me is the incredible, the always unobtainable, luscious Brody Faults. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, buddy. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good, man. Hey, you know what I heard you invented?
What?
Popcorn. Incredible. Follow us at Diggity Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube. YouTube channel name is Diggity Gaming. That's where we post video versions of the podcast for those who are listening to the audio version right now. For those who are watching the video podcast right now on the YouTube channel, we also have our audio version of the podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Subscribe to us on those platforms if you can. Hell, man, you can tell your Alexa to tune to Diggity. You can say, I'm not going to say it, but you can tell your Google, what to do, and they'll say it. Because I don't want to be that, person. I was watching the news this morning, and they had a a segment on artificial intelligence in the home, and they brought up Google Home, and they also brought up Alexa, and they kept freaking saying all of them, man. Constantly, and my Google was just going wild, bro. And I have the Google display in my kitchen, I have the Google Home in my office, and I have the Google Mini in my in our bedroom. And the problem is that I had the TV on the same channel, okay, in the bedroom. So my whole home was just going nuts. So this lady was telling, it was on Good Morning America or something like that, some morning show, and she was telling it to broadcast, which means it broadcasts throughout all the stuff. So her voice broadcasted through my whole friggin' home, and I'm just sitting there. And best part was taking a dump, and I was just sitting there oh my god, my house is alive. Oh my god! And I came out because she broadcasted, and it was Google broadcast, blah 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 blah. And it was terrifying. Anyways, today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial by heading on over to audibletrial.com/diggity. That's Diggity. You can get access to over 180,000 titles to choose from. Holy, for your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, or your MP3 player. So head on over to audibletrial.com/diggity to get your free audiobook download and 30-day free trial. Son, Brody, hit us up.
All right, so first off, on our Thursday shows, we like to go on to Diggity Deals. So
Hell yeah.
This week we have two Diggity Deals for you. On the PlayStation Store, you can get The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition for $15. And on Amazon, you can get Assassin's Creed Odyssey for the PS4 or the Xbox One for $20.
Good deal, man. Both are really good deals.
Fantastic deal on both of them. Those are
amazing. The Witcher 3 is $15. I mean, my God, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's value.
I just bought it on PC. I had it on Xbox, but I just bought it on PC for $20 on sale not too terribly long ago. And then I paid, I think I paid $40, $45 for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. A handful of months ago, so
no. Deep breath. Hey, there's new games coming to Xbox Game Pass. So starting February 21st, Batman: Return to Arkham is coming. Headlander is coming, and Disney Epic Mickey 2: The Power of Two. Which, by the way, Disney's Epic Mickey games are actually pretty fun. I don't know if you ever played them.
I heard the first one was better than the second, but yes. I have not played either of them.
Yes, the first one is better than the second. The second one has Oswald in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, those are great. And then starting February 28th, The Walking Dead Season 2 and Alien Isolation comes to Xbox Game Pass. So if you're listening to this podcast right now, you have Batman: Return to Arkham, Headlander, and Disney Epic Mickey 2: The Power of Two available to you on Game Pass. Game Pass is becoming pretty good.
It is.
I think it's
There's a lot of good things that have come in the last month on Game
Pass. It's also the future down the road, right? I mean, I think it's the amount of stuff that's going to be coming out in the next couple months alone is definitely worth the value of it for sure. All right, dude, let's jump into the news.
So first up, we have Trials Rising, which is your traditional Trials games, which is the motorcycles and you're climbing up different hills and through courses and things like that.
Blood Dragon was awesome when we played that. That's ridiculous.
We had a good time doing that. We should have streamed that.
I was on my deathbed, but Yes.
Yeah,
we had a
I
good
mean,
time.
you looked like hell, but whatever. Uh, the beta for it is available right now. Or I guess it's actually a demo. Sorry, the demo is available now, and it will be available through the 25th. And you can actually play it on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, or PC.
Super pumped to be able to
awesome
play it
to
on
see it
Switch.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's. I mean, I feel like we say that a lot, but I enjoy playing games on my Nintendo Switch.
Broken record.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, no, exactly. I think it's just because I think it's a perfect game for the Switch. Not to say that it doesn't fit on console, but I don't know. It's a smaller screen, and I think that, that's just works better.
I think for me, I have a hard time sitting down and playing a ton of Trials games just because it's so broken up because of the different levels and stuff. But I think being able to play it on my Switch will make me play it a little bit more because you play 3 levels and you go on to something else and come back but yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, well, hey, since this is a Thursday show, we do something called Indie Radar on the Thursday show, which is where we pick an indie game each week that is coming down the pipeline or might not even have an announcement date, but we found it intriguing in some way, shape, or form, and we put the trailer up on our YouTube channel, Diggity Gaming, and then we talk about it we put it on Wednesdays on the YouTube channel, and then on Thursdays we discuss in greater detail about what we like about the game, why we picked it, and give a little bit more depth into the game. So this week's game is called Kine, which is spelled Kine. The developer is Gwen Frey. It's actually an individual, and the publisher also is Gwen Frey as well. The platforms right now is PC, specifically on Steam. The release date is there's no ETA yet for this game, which is interesting. But the description from their Steam page lists this. It says, Kine is a 3D puzzle game about 3 whimsical machines that aspire to be musicians. Embark across a theatrically rendered cityscape by solving increasingly difficult 3D puzzles. Guide Euler, Quat, and Rue as they struggle to form a band and find their big break. I hope to God I said all their names right. They're all spelled super weird. My apologies if I did not. This game looks super fun and super cool. And like the reason why I like this and why I picked this week, which we switch it up each week. Like we have a master list of kind of indie games that we're following, and then from that list we each kind of choose each week which ones we want to pick. I think this is almost kind of like a Pixar movie, and like I feel like you're definitely going to connect with those instruments in many ways.
At the very least, I think it's like a Pixar short. Like some of the
exactly
the really heartfelt shorts that they put out.
Right, for sure. And I mean, normally a 3D puzzle game wouldn't excite me that much, but the fact that it's musical, I mean, both of us play instruments. I really like it. I like how they're kind of like that cool, like they're an amalgamation of a bunch of instruments together, each one. So like one has like a trombone and a snare, and then like a guitar on it and stuff like that. And they're like all mangled up together, and that's how they move across a map and solve different things and move things, which is super, super, super cool. I think this would be great on a Switch. Not to I guess it's, that's the thing in the industry right now is everyone just says, hey, this would be great on a Switch.
Right.
But really, I do. I think it'd be really cool, really fun to see it. Maybe even use motion controls in some aspect too, with the Joy-Cons. But typically, I love music games, except for Wii Music, and I don't see why this game wouldn't be. I mean, if this game's trailer if the game is exactly like the trailer, I can see this game winning awards totally for kind of its artsy take. The way it looks from its graphical side of things, the way that it ingeniously plays from the looks of it, and also just, I mean, you even from the trailer you feel connected to the characters, which is messed up because they're just a cluster of musical instruments, which is why we alluded to that whole Pixar thing at the start. Is why do you they've done stuff with the toaster, right, before in Pixar shorts. They've done stuff with the birds on the power line, like even a bow bun in the latest one. It's like, how do you really connect with that, So it's, but you somehow do, and it's through their movement, and like WALL-E's perfect example. How do you connect to a robot? Well, they somehow did it, And I think that this game does that as well, and that's why we chose it. So go check it out. Go check the trailer out on our YouTube channel, Diggity Gaming. And you'll see, I think it's like a 48-second trailer, so it doesn't take much of your time.
Yeah, it's
Go
not
check it
very
out.
long. I feel like this game's still kind of a little ways off just because there's not a whole lot about it out right now.
Yeah.
But it looks amazing, like you said. The characters look very awesome, and I think just the way they move is interesting in itself. I mean, they just kind of, it looked like there was like a pull through the character of sorts, and then like you could control like how the character flipped and where the weight was, which is like the actual it's bizarre, but it looks gorgeous. It has a very artsy feel to it, and like Jeff said, go check it out. Go check out the trailer. It looked cool. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, man. All right, let's move on.
All right, so there is a new Apex Legends weapon coming, which was kind of hinted at yesterday, but
It launched today?
It launched today. So
As we're recording, so.
Right. Respawn Entertainment has revealed that a brand new gun will be added to its popular Battle Royale title, Apex Legends, starting today. Sorry, didn't see it was a comma. It looked like a period. The announcement was short and sweet, with a video of the rifle in question being posted to the official Apex Legends Twitter account. Seems like the weapon can be fired like an automatic rifle and will have an alternate fire that lets the player charge a shot, which is interesting.
It's called a Havoc as well.
Yeah,
the weapon.
Yeah, called the Havoc. It looks cool. We've actually been playing a decent amount of Apex lately.
Yes, we have.
Which I didn't think I was ever going to get you to do, because you are not big on Battle Royales. But here we go mentioning Craig again. But me and Craig have been jumping on in there, and we've been having fun. We did pretty good
for sure, man.
Last night.
Yeah, and it's
Monday
totally
we did not do good. Last night we did good.
Yes. It's totally weird though, dude, because I was watching like an article today about Apex Legends, and I was watching it, and I literally questioned myself. I'm like, man, I've been playing that. I'm like, why am I playing that? And then I'm trying to figure out why I find Apex Legends more entertaining than Fortnite or PUBG. And I think I've narrowed it down. So PUBG, pretty simple. PUBG looks like shit.
Plays like shit.
Yeah. It's on a console, yes. And so for me, that was one of the big reasons for Apex Legends. Seems like the level of polish it's there for sure. It also, and this could change over time, it also feels like they're not pushing a ton of shit on people in the community like crazy right now.
Right.
That could change over time. I have no idea. But Fortnite, I felt, was just constantly like, check it out. Check it out, guys. Added this.
Something we never brought up, but I got an email the other day from Epic that was saying that you can get a month of, or a battle pass for free by completing like a list of challenges. So I think Apex Legends is hitting them much harder than they expected. And I think it is definitely leaving a little bit of a dent there.
Yeah, dude, the amount of streamers, like if you go on Twitch, the amount of streamers right now that are
insane.
Playing Apex Legends and switch to there, like, they're not playing Fortnite anymore.
No. It's easy for me to figure out why I like Apex Legends better. It all comes down to shooting mechanics, honestly. The shooting feels a million times better than both PUBG and Fortnite. Yep. I can't stand the shooting in Fortnite, to be perfectly honest. And I also don't like the building aspect of it, so there's that. And then PUBG, I've just had such a bad experience with it. I've played it on PC recently, and it's significantly better. I will give it that. But Apex Legends is hands down my favorite Battle Royale game. So yeah, I think the gunplay is something that always lacks there, and I think they really nailed it.
No, absolutely. Hey, Dreams Creator Early Access launches this spring, apparently. So Dreams is a game made by the creators of Little Big Planet, aka Media Molecule. And as explained by Media Molecule themselves, Dreams is a place where you go to play and experience the dreams of Media Molecule and our community. It's also a space in which to create your own dreams, whether they're games, art, films, music, or anything in between and beyond. So Creator Early Access for Dreams will be available for $30. And it will be later this spring. We don't have an absolute date yet for this spring, but spring's anywhere from March through mid-May, pretty much.
Yeah. Dude, this game is awesome looking. I've kind of been following it for a while now, and I think they've done some really cool things. I mean, as far as getting into the making your own music in it, it's fairly simple. It's easy to use. They made everything very user friendly. Even the games, like if you don't know how to tell the game to make something do something, you can literally like pick it up and drag it to where you want, and it'll follow your motion, and that motion is actually what will be now part of the code. So you can create all these obstacles literally by just dragging and dropping things and creating this, make it do whatever you want. And
it's like Mario Maker on steroids.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I mean, somebody aspect, because the music aspect's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
you just play music into it. You can make puppets and stuff. You do whatever you want.
I've seen some really cool art in it too. Like people are using it to like render out some really cool looking art. And somebody created. I mean, this is just one of the things that I've seen, but they went in and remade Dead Space inside of Dreams.
Good God.
Just because you can. But that was during the beta. It's just. This game is really, really neat, but the only thing about this game is it's gonna absolutely rely on the player base. It's just gonna be one of those games if it doesn't have the player base for it.
I think it'll get it.
I hope so. I absolutely hope so.
I think it might be a little bit of a slow roll because I think it's going to be like a Minecraft almost, where people start making like calculators and all this kind of crazy stuff inside of it, making it do like way more than it needs to do.
Yeah. I mean, people love creating, and I think it's a excellent way for people to have another avenue to create.
Heck yeah, man. You got some Square Enix news for us, just some real quick points.
Yeah, this is a real brief point, but Square Enix has announced that they are going to make an announcement about an upcoming game.
An announcement about an announcement.
Yeah, so the new game that they're going to be talking about TM soon is an RPG called Last Idea, which is really a name when you're creating a game. Hey, Billy, what should we call this? I don't know, man. This is my last idea. I got nothing.
Wow. So you think there's someone called Billy at Square Enix that works there?
No, absolutely not.
It's definitely not.
But it's kind of funny because people are making the reference to it being similar to Final Fantasy. They called the series Final Fantasy because it was their last ditch effort to basically stay around, and it took off. So this is I don't think Square Enix is going anywhere, but it just seems very reminiscent of that era.
Here's the last idea we have. This is Battle Royale RPG.
This is Dave's last idea.
Battle Royale RPG.
There's also probably not a guy named Dave.
Maybe. Maybe not. Hey, there's a big Black Ops 4 operation. First of all, I'm the one that wrote the show notes, and I should never fucking put big and black next to each other. Fucking show note ever again. Because one slip of the tongue, and that could be, and especially big Black Ops. That could have went real bad.
You about set yourself up for failure there.
I know. So there's a big Black Ops 4 Operation Grand Heist update, and that's out now on PS4. So Treyarch's big Operation Grand Heist update for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 has arrived on PS4. The update introduces a slew of new content to the online shooter, including a new specialist maps and weapons, with even more still to come over the next few days. So launching us alongside the update today, yesterday, February 19th, is a new specialist for multiplayer and blackout modes, Outrider. And Treyarch has also added a new multiplayer mode called One in the Chamber, while those with the Black Ops Pass have access to 2 new multiplayer maps called Casino and Lockup. Black Ops Pass holders also get an exclusive character for Blackout, the zombie gorilla Cosmic Silverback. As Treyarch recently teased, the Blackout map has also been expanded with a new locale called Ghost Town. The above-ground area is designed after the Black Ops 2 map Standoff, while the caverns below ground are inspired by the Zombies map Buried. Beginning February.
Hang on, what?
Buried?
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 Yeah. I don't know.
Your Canadian is showing.
It's the accent, yeah. Beginning February 20th. Hey, that's today that we're recording. So if you're listening to this, it's live. But beginning February 20th, the developer teases that a familiar face makes an appearance to welcome in the new operation. And the following day will kick off the first League Play event. Finally, on February 22nd, Blackout will get the new Hot Pursuit mode, which introduces 3 new vehicles, the SUV, PBR, which is hilarious, and the muscle car. Hey, Black Ops 4 it seems like every Battle Royale is like, check this out. Here's shit. Here's free things.
Here's a zombie gorilla cosmic silverback.
Everyone's losing their minds over Apex Legends just coming in and just swiping, because that's what you have to be worried about, right? It's not the slow climb, right? It's the guy that comes in and just takes a huge fucking chunk of your market share right off the bat.
And seems to be keeping it.
Holds it. Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's important, right? It's like, not to get political, but Bernie Sanders comes in or whatever a day late and he raises like something like $6 million or something crazy like that. Crazy old guy. And he gets whatever, I don't care. He raised like $6 million, and the other lady like raises like 1.2, and like the day before she's like, I've got the record for the most people, and Bernie Sanders comes in and it's like, fuck this, and like just pulls out his massive guns and stuff, and it's just like, here's $6 million, bitches. It's crazy.
Are you saying Bernie went out there and flexed on her?
Oh, Bernie flexed. Bernie's dripping in finesse right now. Hardcore.
So, to go along with this
Bernie
big
Sanders.
Black Ops news.
Oh my God. Mistakes were evaded.
Yeah.
With those show notes.
Guess what has made its, not even really a resurgence, its appearance into Black Ops 4.
What?
Also in this update. Go ahead and take a quick guess for me, Jeff.
Cosmetics.
Yes, in the form of loot crates.
Yes.
Loot crates have now made their way into a game, a $60 game, that is also has a season pass for $50, and is also now adding in loot crates, and people are pissed.
It's the Disney World of games.
Absolutely. They kick you in the balls to drop you to your knees, and then while you're down,
careful.
You
suck their giant big Black Ops, yes.
Yeah. Somebody kicks you in the back of the head, and then they steal all your money. It's rough, dude. I thought they were going to be able to keep them out of this game, and nope. Activision being Activision threw them right back in there.
So what's the total cost on like day one if you wanted to buy the full game? Is it $110? Because if you want to buy
if you want the season pass, depending on if you get it on sale, but most of the time you're gonna find it for $60. So yeah, you're looking at $110 to get everything this game offers.
You ever wonder why they just didn't make this free to play? Because if that's the route they wanted to take,
especially going forward, because how do you carry it over into the next Call of Duty from now? I mean, what do you do now?
Right. I mean, I don't know why they didn't make it free to play. Like, if they wanted to make it free to play and do loot crates and a battle pass and all this kind of stuff, I'm cool with it. I'm down. Go for it.
Absolutely.
I think more people would probably fucking play it.
Oh, absolutely. I think it would be wildly popular if it had gone free to play, or even like, I don't know, $5, $10, something like that. But it should have been separate from the game, and I think they really, really messed up by doing that. I think they've kind of screwed themselves, because now, in order to play Blackout, you have to play big Black Ops 4.
Good God. Oh boy, we're gonna make a T-shirt of that one day.
Absolutely.
Suck my big Black Op.
But basically, I've seen that debate quite a bit lately, that how do you carry over this game mode now? How do you keep a Call of Duty, Blackout or whatever? Because if you reintroduce it into the next Call of Duty, now you've split your player base too. On top of the fraction that you already had of that market share. So
yeah, but you could just spin off, I guess. You could just say, the next E3 or something like that.
Go with
which it sounds like nobody's going to be friggin' attending E3 this year, but, You go to the next E3 or whatever, and they go, hey, it's gonna be free to play on the next system, whatever it is, and it's just a standalone mode on it. But it makes no sense as to why they didn't make it free to play if this is what they wanted to do, because it's just like it's one or the other to me. Like if you're gonna do the battle pass, cool, go for it, no problem, whatever. It's DLC, it's content, cool. It's making the game longer, it's adding more stuff to it, awesome, great, more maps, stuff like that. But like the reason why I'm cool with Overwatch doing loot boxes and shit like that is because it's a $60 game. There's no fucking pass, and then they can just do loot boxes. It's like one or the other to me. It's just too much shit. You can't do that much to a game. Like you sent an image of that cow being milked by Black Ops 4, and it was just like the cow was like dry. It was like skin and bone because it was Activision just milking the cow, which the cow was Black Ops 4 of everything that it has. Oh, man. Anyways, back to news.
Valve is ditching non-gaming videos due to lack of interest.
No way.
Yeah.
It's like it almost didn't make sense doing that in the first place. Incredible.
Yeah, who would have thought it didn't make sense to put random videos on your gaming marketplace, but all right. So anyway, Valve has announced that it is retiring the video section of its Steam store menu, and it will be removing any non-gaming videos from its service. In a blog post announcing the move, the company says that it has made the decision after reviewing what Steam users actually watch. God, I'm sorry. Man. Although gaming-related videos will remain on the service, they will no longer sit in a dedicated section of the store menu. Valve's blog post promises that you'll still be able to watch content that you've previously purchased, but you'll have to act quickly if you want to buy anything new. Valve says it's expecting the non-gaming video content to be removed from the service over the coming weeks.
Which is great. Don't give me a specified date.
Yeah. Sometime we're gonna remove this,
and we're not gonna fucking tell you when. Just gonna tell you it might be in the next coming weeks. So do something about it.
The fact that they ever even had this is...
Why not just make another fucking company?
I don't know.
I mean, I think it's genius to put... well, okay.
Genius seems like a strong word.
I think... Well, no, not in Steam, but I feel like if they know digital distribution, right? Like they're the kings of it right now, and everyone's trying to take away from them, but they're the kings of digital distribution when it comes to gaming. So they just thought, well, hey, a video is a file, a video game's a file. Let me just distribute this on the same thing. Make a different fucking company, man. If you want to distribute it, better yet, make a fucking streaming site.
Yeah.
When's the last time you fucking went and purchased something on iTunes? You know what I fucking saw the other day? Bro, I went on my phone the other day. I'm going on a rant here. I went on my phone the other day, okay? And I went into my videos, my iTunes page, my purchases. You know the last fucking thing I bought?
Yeah.
2006 Attack of the Show. Okay, G4 Attack of the Show. That's the last fucking thing I ever purchased on iTunes. Who the fuck is going to do that? I can go to a Redbox and spend $1, get the fucking thing, and then just return it the next day if I want to. And I'd rather do that, and that requires me to get my ass up out of my chair to go do that. It's also the fact that when you downloaded these things, the UI fucking sucked.
Right.
It sucked to use. It was dumb trying to find the videos in the store, and they never advertised them. So what the fuck are you gonna do? You think people are gonna like? I bet you people had no. I bet you most people, because I looked online on Reddit, most people didn't have a fucking clue that there were videos on the fucking thing, dude.
I didn't know. I had no clue.
There you fucking go.
When I saw that you put this in the show notes today, I sat there and I had to reread it like 4 times to figure out what the hell you were talking about.
I tried not throwing so many F-bombs. I totally just accounted for like 4 episodes of F-bombs there. Fuck it.
Yeah, might as well just throw a little cherry on top.
I don't understand. I hope this move is getting rid of it, because I'm not pissed that they're getting rid of it. I'm just pissed that they even did this.
Yeah,
This makes no sense as to why they did this.
it was an odd move to ever even go in this direction at all.
Like, if you want to include a documentary of a game being made with the game that you're purchasing, and that's like a package that you can buy, hey, that's cool. That's neat.
Yeah.
Just make a different company. Like, this also proves that, you know, it was a couple months ago, right, that Steam said they're going to be reworking and retooling the UI, right? Like changing up the site because they need to.
I want to say it was November.
That's great. It's only been 4 months.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Fantastic.
It must be going very well. I feel like this is something that they would have done a while ago because it's kind of been outdated for a significant period of time. And if they want to stay on top, they can't be getting lazy.
You know what I think happens?
Oh, boy.
I bet you our boy Sweeney over at Epic Games decides that he'll accept videos.
We'll take all your videos.
Yeah.
Why not? Sure.
I mean, sure, all these people are going to lose the videos, the ability to sell it. All these people that put money into distributing them. And then now you can come in and be
I'm
like,
sure
hey,
they're not on YouTube or, any other service that is widely more popular for using for video.
No.
Not video games. Like, I don't know, maybe something that specifically specializes in not video games. Just a thought.
Hey, man, now you're thinking. You're thinking with your brain. I don't get it. I don't know why you would be, yay, what's great? There's all these problems with our platform and our ecosystem. Let's make sure people can watch Toy Story 2. Holy shit. Like, we need to make sure people, and it wasn't even good movies on there, dude. It was terrible. It was like Dracula from like 1940.
So most of the free movies on Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not saying it sucks, but it's not good.
There were some gaming documentaries on there, which it says that they're keeping, which is good. But
yeah,
here's the thing: where am I going to find them now if there's no video games or no videos section anymore?
Well, you probably have to go into a tab, scroll down, go 8 menus deep, and even then you have to know a secret password.
Yeah. And if you're not using a Steam box, then you can't use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can only watch the film with a Steam controller, which is garbage.
Garbage, I believe.
Garbage, yeah. Anyways, hey.
We're fancy over here.
The meat of this podcast, what I alluded to at the start of the intro, Google would appear right now that it might be possibly getting into video games. I don't know to what scale, but Google revealed on Tuesday that it'll be holding a special event at GDC scheduled for March 18th to 22nd in San Francisco. Rumors online about the event seem to be pointing to Google's Project Stream, which is a PC streaming video game service the company began testing in October and closed last month. Among the games streamed via Google Chrome to computers was Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Many have also noted that Google could also jump into the hardware game. Back in February 2018, it was reported that Google was developing a game streaming service codenamed Yeti, which when I think of Yeti, I think of those coolers that it costs an abysmal amount of money that people take selfies on, and it makes no sense, that could run on Chromecast or a special Google console. Subsequently, video game news site Kotaku also reported in October that Google was working on some type of hardware solution to go with its streaming platform as well. Oh, sorry. As well as looking to acquire or recruit game developers. My goodness.
Damn page break.
Yes. Google had hired former Sony and Microsoft game executive Phil Harrison in January of 2018. So, crazy, man. So it sounds like there's two things here. It sounds like Google's trying to create, a cloud-based streaming service, which makes sense. They have Google Cloud. So they have the back-end side figured out on that end. And they've already tested it. What's crazy
From what I heard is it works very well too. I heard people were playing Assassin's Creed on like Chromebooks, like no problem.
Yeah, you know what's crazy to me too is that really there hasn't. I mean, this has come up now. This came up a little bit a couple weeks ago, but hadn't really fruited into something big yet until now. What like? I mean, I guess it's because Microsoft has Xbox and they've been in gaming for a while now. But how the heck is Google not getting like as much press? Because here's my thing: is they've actually tested it and it's worked.
I remember when they first started doing the Project Stream. I'm pretty sure we even covered it, honestly.
Yeah, but it's not as big
but
as
it's
xCloud.
been a while, and we didn't hear much about it throughout the course of the testing. I mean, you really had to dig to find anything out about the testing and how it went or anything like that. But yeah, I do remember them talking about it and them kind of like, hey, we're doing this thing, and that was about it. And like you said, it's kind of flown under the radar, especially the hardware part of it. That was definitely not something we completely knew about. I mean, there was speculation on it, but that's about it.
What do you think the hardware is? Just a box, like a Steam box?
Yeah, it's
That runs
be
on Chromium or something like that, and then it streams a PC game.
I hope it doesn't come with a controller. In all honesty, I
you think Google
I
would
don't
make a
even
terrible
want it
controller?
to have a controller.
I don't want Google to even try to invent a controller.
No, it'll be some really, really fucked up controller.
It'll
is
like
what it'll be.
be like it'll just be too. It'll like connect to your butthole or something. It'll be weird.
That seems like the only logical thing. Is that the new controller that Valve's making? Actually,
Oh my gosh! Don't burn bridges.
I'm so sorry.
Don't burn bridges when we're mildly popular. Please.
That's
Oh,
the
dear
best
God.
time.
No, I fear if Google makes a controller that it's going to be this wacky, crazy design. It's going to be in coral pink, and it's going to connect to your fucking watch, and then you can say, "Hey Google, play Assassin's Creed Odyssey," and then it's going to just be like, "Now playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Jeff," and then you can talk to the controller, you speak to it,
Do you have to talk to it just like that?
Dude, to think that they're not going to put this into the Google Home realm.
Oh, it
ecosystem.
will 100% be part of Google Home.
Hey, Google, turn on video games. Okay, turning on video games. It's just, I don't know. The problem with Google is it's like they're like stuck in between like what Apple and Samsung does. So I just watched the Samsung, I forget what it's called, event or whatever they named it something, but they showed off the new Samsung Galaxy. And
it's just like the Galaxy 9.
Okay, so you know what? We can get off topic a little bit here.
Yeah,
It doesn't really matter.
let's go ahead and
Sure,
jump
let's
off
go for
topic.
it.
It'll be fine.
So the Galaxy 10 comes in 3 different models, 3 different SKUs. So there's the 10e, the 10s, and the 10 Plus. Okay, so the 10e is like a bare bones phone. It's got like a fingerprint thing on the side. It's got a decent camera. A screen probably the size of like the 9 right now. Mm-hmm. The 10s, coolest part, the fingerprint sensor is in the screen, so there's no button and there's nothing on the side.
Screen.
Yeah, it's on the screen, so it's actually underneath the screen.
Does it have to be still like on a certain spot on the screen, or does it just pick it up wherever?
It has to be a certain spot on the screen, and it shows a fingerprint symbol on the screen, like on the lock screen. But It uses ultrasound waves to map your fingerprint, and then sends it back to that ultrasound sensor, and then that shows, it approves the encryption and then allows you into your phone. And then the 10 Plus is just like bigger and does that
Better,
as well. And it's got a little
faster.
bit more battery and stuff like that. And so it has the entire front is a screen. Like there is not, they even built in like the sensors and stuff into the pixels on the screen. Problem is there's still a camera hole, and it's in the top right. So it looks like there's just a fucking hole in your screen. So
awesome.
It's not, yeah. Craziest thing on that end too, before I get back to why I think Google's in between Apple and Samsung, is they showed a phone called the the Galaxy Fold.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. Where it...
Yeah, so it looks like 2 phones stacked up on top of each other, and like you can use it like a phone, and then you can open it and it turns into like a 7.3-inch like tablet. It's a phablet. It's a phone tablet. And the problem is
That's
it's like
kind of awesome, actually.
okay, it's $1,800.
Oh, it's not as cool anymore. Holy shit.
Bro, when they showed the price, the room went, whoa, and then everyone started laughing.
You could just feel all the air in the room go.
The phones are good price. The highest phone, the highest 10, the 10 Plus, if you're an Android user, is only $999. Okay?
That's still the fact that when we can look at the price of a phone and it's $1,000 fucking dollars and we're like, it's not that bad.
It's bad. It's still bad.
Something is wrong.
The 10S, which I think is the phone that most people should get anyways, is only like $849.
That's not bad. I mean, back to what we already said, or what I just said.
Could you imagine $1,800 for a phone?
Oh my god!
And here's the thing: I would never buy it because it's the first iteration of that. So there's gonna be so many problems. The biggest problem I have is it looks like two phones stacked up on top of each other when it's folded. Like it's thick when it's folded. It's pretty. It's two galaxies on top of each other, essentially. And then the problem I have too is when it's folded up, the screen that is supposed to be the phone screen on the front of it, it's not the full size of the screen of the phone.
Right.
So you have to open it every single time to get a full screen experience. And it's cool because there's no edge, right? Because it's a foldable display.
This reminds me of when they tried to do like the sidekicks where you had the fold out or the slide out keyboard, you know?
I had a sidekick. Okay?
I know. You and about every other person our age.
It was horrendous.
And if you could get it to slide just perfectly, you could get it to come out at like an angle and it would be all fucked up. But it just reminds me of that, where it's like this weird gimmicky, like, hey, look, now you can slide this other keyboard out from underneath your other keyboard. It's like, now you can slide a screen out from underneath your other screen, and now you have two screens that make one screen. Screens.
Yay.
It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
It's cool, but
my point between Google being with Samsung is the one that does these crazy things like we're gonna make a phone that folds in half and then it's $1,800 to purchase, right? And then Apple's the other one that sits there and goes excuse me, they don't sit there and cough, but they sit there and go, okay, I'm gonna let Samsung do all these crazy things. I'm gonna let people sit there and go, yeah, $1,800 is too much for a folding phone. Okay, guys, we're not gonna make the folding iPhone anymore. Well, let's just go back and do this now, and let's come up with a sensor now, where the next iPhone is probably gonna have that ultrasound sensor into it. And the thing is that, and I'm not bashing Android at all because I've used both, and I think there's some things that Android just kicks Apple's ass in, and vice versa. And that's the problem that we find ourselves in nowadays: is there's no perfect phone, and it pisses me off. Because I find sometimes I'm like, man, if I did this, I could do this if I had an Android, and then vice versa, with Apple, and I'm like, but that phone doesn't exist. Apple's probably gonna do the ultrasound thing, and they're probably gonna make it work better, like faster, and like typically with the unlock stuff, it works faster and quicker on the iPhone stuff. But the problem with Google is Google's in the middle of these two, okay? And no one's ever asking Google to really like step it up and holding them to anything. It would seem they're kind of like watching Apple do something and Samsung do it, and then they kind of go, okay, what would Google maybe do in this sector now? And the problem with that is that Google tries so hard on a hardware level to make it totally different than what it needs to be. From a software perspective, I think Google kicks ass. One, their Android, obviously their platform, their open source Android SDK platform, and then on top of that, the fact of just their software for their cameras, like on the Pixel, is incredible. Like YouTube G Suite, YouTube TV, anything that you want to talk about software, they're great. Hardware, they're terrible at it. Like we have that Google display, and it's good. Problem is, like, there's a massive bezel around the entire screen.
Yeah.
It's like, why do that? Like nobody else is doing that for phones. Why do I need to have a bezel?
Yeah, you have like 3/4 of an inch of bezel around that entire thing.
Yeah, and you're
it's
like,
crazy.
What the hell is this? Like, it looks like something from like 2012.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, and hey, my screen's 5 inches, but the entire thing's actually about 8.
8. Yeah, it's crazy. And then the sound in it isn't as good as what the Google Home sound is.
Yeah.
Now, me and my wife still like it because we can, say, hey, Google, play blah, blah, blah on YouTube TV on the kitchen display, and it plays it while I'm sitting there cooking, right? Or she's cooking or whatever. And that's great. But your immediate thought to this is like, oh, God, I hope they don't actually make a box or a controller because we know it's going to be batshit insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be like this cube-looking thing with like these different like prisms coming out of it or something like that. And it's going to be called something weird. And then it's going to... I
imagine it's going to be all of the primary colors as well, just mashed into one, like Google
pastels.
used to like to do back in the day. The
pastels.
Blue, yellow, red, like just throw them all in there.
No, man, it's all pastel colors now. It's like coral pink.
Yeah, that's true. They've moved away from
pastels, grays and stuff. Yeah, I just want them, like, I don't know. I feel like if they come out with hardware in one fell swoop with everything, like they're kind of jumping the gun. Like, I get they're trying to push Chromebooks and stuff like that, but it's like there's no, I don't know. I mean, this is them trying to get part of the gaming, like this would crush the gaming laptop like scene because you wouldn't need it. You don't need to buy an Alienware like souped up or Republic of Gamers souped up laptop. You could just
as long as you were playing, I think your games would still be limited. Like, I think if you were getting into like MMOs and things like that, I doubt they're going to be streaming stuff like that. I think they're going to aim.
Why not?
Because Google's probably going to aim more for your major, like your Call of Duties and things like that, like your major titles that come out fairly consistently. I don't think they're going to go into the realm of setting up something to stream some MMO that only a handful of people actually play.
No, they're going to go for popular things, but.
And even then, I don't think they're going to be able to stream WoW or something like that because they're not going to let them. I couldn't see Activision jumping on board with that. I was just trying to make the point that I think it's going to be your predominantly like larger titles from your major companies. I think it's going to be.
But if you're a consumer and you know that you could buy a device that can play 85% of the games that you play.
Yeah.
Right? But then the other 15% you can't play. You'd have to purchase a $1,800 gaming laptop or $3,000 gaming laptop.
Right.
Or a desktop. Which one would you take? I'd probably be more inclined to go buy the fucking $300 Chromebook and pay $15 a month to be able to stream games.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I 100% agree on that. I guess I was just trying to make the point for those who might not be on board. But yeah, absolutely. I think what they're doing with that is fantastic. I guess a lot of it boils down to who they can get on board with it because everybody wants to be either in their own client or in their own store now and things like that. So Google has the money to throw around and also the authority on the tech world. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all that plays out. But on the same token, once they get into hardware, now you're looking at. I assume at the hardware level, you're looking at something that's going to connect to your TV.
I would assume so as well. I guess at that point, TV or gaming monitor doesn't. Yeah,
really matter. Same difference, same thing.
Right.
But I assume you're going to be running to a secondary screen from this hardware that they release. So now, not only are they, Google putting themselves right into the middle of, Samsung and Apple, like you were talking. Now they're also going into the middle of another market and throwing themselves right into the shit show that is the PS4 and Xbox console battle between the fanboys that have been around forever, and this is better, and so now they're getting into dangerous territory there as well. But I think it's also going to be, I don't know. I mean, we've already seen the obviously it was not done nearly as well, but you've seen Steam's effort to make something somewhat similar. I mean, it's not entirely the same,
that's
but
streaming from your PC on the same network, though.
Yeah, you had to be on the same network, and like I said, it didn't work well, and
no, because I think that was because it's on your local network, right? It's still your machine doing all the work in unison with the box versus.
Yeah, that was just a way for like, hey, your PC's in the other room, and I actually would like to sit on the couch and play it there. Yeah. But I'm just saying we've already seen someone try to do something kind of similar, so it'll be interesting to see if this gains any traction, especially because if it's basically streaming off of a PC obviously it's going to be a server or whatever that's connecting you to this game, and now you're playing it on a so-and-so console. How do you separate keyboard and mouse users from controller users and things like that? I know you can recognize inputs and things, but I think it opens up a whole nother can of worms, like if you're getting into multiplayer games and things like that. Not to mention the infrastructure in most countries, other than I think Japan pretty much has the best infrastructure as far as for internet. We're still not entirely sure how well streaming actually is going to work for our, like, online multiplayer games.
Oh yeah, the ISPs, man, are not going to be able to. I mean, if everyone decided tomorrow to just switch to streaming video games, like, the ISPs could not handle that.
It's really, we're getting into such interesting territory as far as the streaming aspect of it, and we've definitely dove into it pretty at length a couple different times, but it's such an easy topic to get into because there's so many what if scenarios and things like that, and the future and things, flying cars and. But I'm interested to see what they have, and I obviously once all this comes out, we'll be covering it and going over what they got into, at least the gaming related aspects of it. But
I'm more excited on the fact that this will compete with the xCloud and the factor that this could easily just go to mobile.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so on a Pixel you can play the game and pick it up on the box at home, or pick it up on your Chromebook, right? But that's the thing is, like, from my side of things, I don't know the Chromebook sales, but I don't know anybody that owns a Chromebook.
I know a lot of people that own Chromebooks.
You do?
Almost every student in most areas owns a Chromebook.
Yes, students.
That is a huge market. Huge. You already get it from school. I mean, a lot of times they limit what they can do on them, but
but that's the thing is, like, I mean, right now, like, our generation does not have them because we didn't grow up with them. The whole ploy of having them in school is that you get used to it, and then when you grow up and you go off to college, you buy the same fucking Chromebook, or you buy it when you leave college. Now you're making good money, you buy the good Chromebook, right? But yeah, like, I mean, I don't know anybody that actually who's not in school that decided to go buy a Chromebook and uses it as their everyday computer.
I think you would be surprised.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm just saying I don't know anybody right now that does that. But I also have a lot of techie friends.
I was gonna say most of our friends are fairly techie, so
because this is the problem. This is where you see the Black Friday sale, and it's like $150 for a laptop. Wow! And then, like, your parent goes out and buys it. Like, I had my mom call me up. She's like, Jeff, this laptop's like $150. I'm like, is it a Chromebook? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So
are you going to surf the web and that's
every time, you want to use it, you have to be on the internet. Like, you can't use this locally in any capacity.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have that much hard drive space unless you go get a more expensive Chromebook.
Yeah, they have their purpose, and I understand what they're for.
Enterprise use, I think, would be great. If you use G Suite as a company, it makes
yeah.
no sense to go buy a Windows PC
Right.
and have it there when you can use, you know, a Chromebook and buy 4 for the same price as one enterprise level, you know, laptop for your individuals in business.
I've thought about. I actually did there for a while. Think about picking up a Chromebook to complement, you know, the other stuff I have. Like I've got, you know, the gaming computer and things like that. And my wife has a laptop that she uses.
You're talking like a surfing the internet on the couch kind of thing, like instead of a tablet?
Yeah, and all I was really gonna do with it was for, like, you know, writing show notes and things like that. Just something real simple and
G Suite,
something I can sit down and do a few little things while still having it basically be mine, and only giving, you know, $150 on sale for it. But I ended up, the wife actually talked me out of it. She's like, I don't want you to do that and this and that. And I was like, well, I mean, it wouldn't be my main computer by any means, but I think they have their purpose. They're just
Sure. I just don't think they've found it as being, you know, and this is again another ploy to, hey, you can play 80% of the games you would play now, but they're going to be on your Chromebook, and your laptop's only going to cost $150 instead of, you know, $2,000. Right, for a gaming PC. And it's like that's pretty attractive, man, to a lot of people. And then
absolutely.
The fact where you can go from your Chromebook, and then again, this is where, when we discussed previously, is that hardware becomes so cheap because it's all back end. Is that where you can go and say, hey, I really want to play on my TV. Okay, I'm going to go spend $100 now for the box.
Yeah.
You know, and now I have a gaming console on my, you know, hooked up to my TV. Wow, $100.
Yeah.
You know, the minimum you have to spend is what, $200, $250 for a decent gaming console?
Yeah, you can pick up like an Xbox for right around $200, you know.
$200, right? So it's kind of like, you know, geez. And then also on this, I'm guessing this would be all subscription based. So it's just like, then you have all the games. So it's like that cost goes down, or the cost is split over time rather than one lump sum, which it's been for the longest time in this market, and it makes people, their barrier to entry less and less to jump in. So,
but if you're right, I mean, we're probably going to be going to streaming services across the board anyway, for the most part. So.
For sure, absolutely. Yeah, I bet you Apple does something soon.
Yeah. Well, I even meant on, you know, your Xbox and your PlayStation, because that was another thing we've gotten into before. But yeah, I don't doubt that if Google's doing this, Apple's not going to be too far behind. And then after Apple does it, I don't know if think
Amazon
that's something.
Will jump in on this.
Oh, Amazon's dude, they're making a big MMO right now.
Yeah, but they're also going to be making a streaming service.
Oh yeah, they're going to be
sure,
well.
Games.
This MMO is really one of their first major steps into
the Grand Tour.
So like I said, this is going to be one of their first major steps into trying to enter into a gaming space, because I don't really think the Grand Tour was a serious entrance into the gaming space.
Yes.
What on earth is that trying to compete with? Because it sure as hell isn't Forza.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they're trying to build their IP up for their streaming service. And then like the thing with Amazon, right, is that they move so quick that they make things, they put it out there. If it sticks, they keep going. If it doesn't, they burn it.
Well, and they have the money to do that. So I mean,
yeah.
It's clearly worked out for them, because they can just go out there and do a bunch of shit. And
a microwave with Alexa in it.
Yeah, I don't feel like that one's gonna stick real well.
You know what? Dude, honest to God, I thought that too. But then today, I was running the microwave, and
you wished you could talk to it?
Yes, I walked away from it. It's so funny when we say that, right? I walked away from it, and it finished. And what I was doing, I wasn't done yet. And I was waiting, and it beeped like forever. And I came over, I'm like, son of a bitch, like, just stop beeping. And then I walked away, I'm like, man, I wish I could just fucking tell this thing to stop. And I'm like, wow.
Shut it off.
Amazon made that, man. Amazon made that microwave. They have that.
They were thinking of that exact scenario.
It's what happens when you start integrating your home to be smart, where you have like the smart lights and everything, like you take it for granted. I go around and be like, Google, do this. Google, play this on this TV. Google, play this on that TV. Google, go to Spotify, all this stuff. And then eventually you just sit there and you go, man, like, this water bottle is fucking stupid. I can't talk to this thing. I wish you could tell me how many glasses I had today. There are ones you can do that, but they don't speak with Google or anything. They just
have a digital readout.
They just have like
usually,
a digital readout. Yeah, or like an app on the phone.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. Hey, anyways, this is the end of the podcast. And if you didn't listen to our last podcast, you might not have known that we started a Patreon. Content like this, hey, it costs money to actually make it. It's incredible. It's crazy. And we're so blessed to be able to have a community that listens to us and also reacts with us on Instagram and through other social media. And we're super happy to have that and super humble. And if you feel the need that you want to contribute to our Patreon, please do so. Our Patreon link is in the link below. We're never going to push it on anybody. It's just kind of, hey, we have this. Go for it if you want. Really, that's kind of how I look with it. We're not starting some campaign or something being like, we need to do this and this and this and this. It's just, if you enjoy our content and you feel like you would want to be a Patreon or patron to our Patreon campaign, please go ahead and do so. Patreon.com/Diggity Gaming, and link is in the description, whether on YouTube or on your phone listening to the podcast right now through audio. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Like I said previously as well, this episode is brought to you by Audible. You can head over to audibletrial.com/Diggity to get access to over 180,000 titles to choose from, as well as get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial on us by heading on over to audibletrial.com/Diggity. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Diggity Gaming. I am available on Xbox One. Add me whenever you feel like it. Totally cool people add me on Xbox One. Xbox One gamer tag is Maple Jeff, and Brody's, yours is what?
Luscious Brody.
Hells to the yeah. Leave us a review, whether it be on the video version on YouTube or on the audio version. Helps us out in two ways. One, gets us noticed more on those platforms, and two, gives us the all-important feedback that we need to make the show better each and every single week. And until next time, guys, we will see you for the Tuesday show. See ya.